A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move that has stirred up both support and dissent, President Donald Trump has ordered the FBI to dispatch approximately 120 agents to Washington, D.C. to assist local law enforcement in combating rising carjackings and violent crime. This initiative comes amid Trump's threats of a federal takeover of the city, even as data suggests that violent crime is actually on the decline. The president's frustration reportedly stemmed from an incident involving a young staffer in his administration who was assaulted in an attempted carjacking. In response, Trump announced a press conference to address the issue and promised to take decisive action against crime in the Capitol. On social media platform Truth Social, Trump expressed his intent to clear the homeless population from the streets of D.C. immediately, drawing parallels between this initiative and his previous efforts to curb illegal immigration at the southern border. The FBI agents being deployed come from various divisions, including counterintelligence and public corruption, and will be participating in traffic stops, a role for which they lack the necessary training, as highlighted by the Washington Post. The decision to send federal agents into the streets of D.C. has sparked frustration within the FBI itself, as the agency typically does not engage in such local law enforcement activities. The agents are primarily drawn from the Washington field office, and while federal law enforcement often collaborates with local police, such responsibilities typically fall under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Park Police and the Secret Service, not the FBI. Local officials have raised concerns about the lack of communication regarding the deployment of these additional resources. The D.C. Police Department has indicated that they were not consulted about how to effectively utilize the FBI agents. This lack of coordination raises questions about the effectiveness of the federal intervention, especially given that D.C. is not a state and federal authorities have the power to exert greater control over the city. Despite the president's claims, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser defended her administration's record on crime, stating that the city has seen a significant reduction in violent crime over the past 2 years, reaching a 30-year low. Bowser emphasized that while there was indeed a spike in crime in 2023, the current statistics show a 26% decrease in violent crime compared to the same period last year. She remarked that the federal response should not be based on perceived crime spikes, but rather on the actual data that reflects the city's safety. As the federal presence increases in D.C., the tension between local governance and federal oversight continues to unfold. The Home Rule Act of 1973 granted D.C. residents the right to elect their own mayor and city council, yet the potential for a federal takeover of the police department looms large, raising alarms among local leaders who fear the erosion of their authority. On Sunday, the FBI confirmed its involvement in the increased federal law enforcement presence in the city, stating that agents from the Washington field office would continue to assist local law enforcement partners. As Trump prepares for his press conference, the implications of his crime-fighting strategies remain to be seen, with many questioning whether such measures will genuinely address the concerns of D.C. residents or simply serve as a political maneuver. With the backdrop of a national conversation about crime, safety, and the role of federal intervention in local matters, the unfolding situation in Washington, D.C. serves as a critical case study. The effectiveness of Trump's approach will likely be scrutinized as residents, local leaders, and law enforcement navigate this unprecedented federal involvement in their city. As the administration pushes forward with its crime-fighting agenda, the future of D.C.'s governance and community safety hangs in the balance, leaving many to wonder what this means for the relationship between federal and local authorities in the nation's capital. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.